Hello everyone. So the market is doing really well. The SPY and the dollar are both green. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at the S&P 500, the dollar, the VIX, the NASDAQ 100, and the Russell 2000, which is the biggest winner at the moment. All right, so without further ado, let's get started with the video. Number one, before we continue, I started a trade coaching thing, basically where you guys give me your trades. You tell me the exact details about your entire trade. I need you guys to send me the symbol, the time date entered and exited, the price that you entered and exited, the reason why you entered and exited, as much detail of the trade as possible. And I'm going to start making YouTube videos about your trades specifically. So basically, I need that information from you guys. If you guys are interested in me critiquing your trades, explaining what you could have done differently, explaining what you did right, explaining what you did wrong, it would really help. And it would really help with the more detail that you give in the trade. Plus, it would also really help everybody collectively, because if someone shares a mistake, right, we can collectively go over that mistake together. And then if someone does something really well, we could collectively look at that good trade together as well. So yeah, basically, you give me all this information, you email it to me here at hamadtrades1@gmail.com. I'm going to share the email in the channel description as well, and basically send it over, and I'm going to make YouTube videos about all of the trades that you guys send me. So far, I've gotten a lot of interesting trades, and I'm really excited to start making those videos. So definitely send me more emails, and I'm really looking forward to it. And now, yeah, let's take a look at the market, because basically the SPY and the dollar are both green at the moment. So very simply, very simply, in my opinion, basically this basically sums up the video in a nutshell. Basically, the financial industry, basically, you look at this, financials are up 1.7%, and the industrials are up almost 1% as well. And you have these IWM names that are doing really well, economically sensitive stocks that are doing really well. You have JP Morgan, you have all of these other basically like any of these random IWM related stocks, as well as Bitcoin names. So Bitcoin is getting a lot of love as well, and the stocks correlated to Bitcoin are also obviously getting a lot of love. Mara, the other miners and everything as well. And Bitcoin doing this well and getting mainstream attention is bullish for the Russell, because the Russell holds all of these very economically sensitive stocks, and it holds risk off sort of assets as well. And Bitcoin, the miners, all of these other sort of speculative smaller industry stocks are also basically in the Russell. And the Russell going up like this in unison with Bitcoin is a pretty like obvious sort of thing. And yeah, that's the main reason why the market is green today. So the main other thing that I want to take a look at is the SPY and the dollar are both green. Okay, so we know that the dollar has an inverse correlation to the market, and we could see that the dollar continued to rise up, and it's continuing to show strength. And we know that if it shows strength like this, it is generally very bearish for the overall market. And clearly, this is strong. The other thing that I want to show is the MACD indicator on the dollar is starting to get very overextended to the upside. And if the dollar can't, this is literally a level that I had drawn from last video. 103, basically it needs to close above that level. All right. And if it doesn't close above that level, this MACD indicator, it can start to cool down. And if this starts to cool down and the dollar starts to cool down, then the stock market is going to do really well, in my opinion. But it's a bad sign for the market that the dollar is green, okay? Because the dollar and the SPY have an inverse relationship. Now, the only issue about being bearish on the stock market, right? Because very simply, the dollar is bullish. So if the dollar is bullish, then it makes sense to be bearish on the stock market. The only reason why it's difficult to be bearish on the stock market is because this is a very, very bullish setup. And when you look at the Fibonacci level from the most recent highs to the most recent lows, we got a clean close above the 50% fib here. And clearly, you know, this is a bear flag, right? And bear flags are generally bearish patterns where we get a continuation to the downside, but it needs to fail at the 618% fib. And it definitely, it's once it closes above the 786% fib, there's, I think, close to like an 85% chance that we won't drop. So as we get closer and closer to closing up above these levels on the fib, there's a lower and lower chance that this is actually bearish. But for now, this is a pretty bullish move. It is risky to automatically just go short. So far, as in my opinion, as long as this can hold above 436, 435.50 area, then this can continue being bullish. If we get a close, essentially, if the next 2 days we get closes above 437.50, then this upward momentum can really start to continue and we can climb up. And this would be irrespective of the strength of the dollar. But it's tough to automatically just be short overnight, in my opinion. It's more of a buy the dip sort of situation on the overall market. But yeah, with the dollar being bullish like this, we clearly see equities doing really, really well. So it's tough to automatically just be short. So, I mean, you know, there's not really much else to say. The main level of resistance is this 439 level. If we get a close, basically, as we get closer and closer to this level, expect people to be short. And what is interesting about this situation is back on Monday, we painted a very, very bearish situation here, right? We painted a very, very bearish situation. But I specifically said, as we're in a range, and as we get closer to 430, I'm going to be bullish. And as we get closer to 436, I would be bearish. Monday, we posted a very, very bearish candle here at a level of support. And instead of it continuing to fall lower, this was a major, major bear trap and it ripped to the upside. So that setup is not in the same extremity. So this setup is not as bullish as this setup was bearish. So I don't think we're going to get as big of a move to the downside as we did get this move to the upside, right? So it's going to be pretty interesting to see like how far basically we get a bit of a pullback for a continued move up. So once again, that level that I think that we need to remain above is going to be around this 437, 436.50 area. If we get a close above that level for the next 2 days, then we can really start to, that's like a conservative number. The most conservative, like loose number would be 435.50 or 436. If we can remain above those levels, then we still have some sort of room to go to the upside. And again, as we get closer to this 439 area, it would make more sense to be bearish, especially if you want to trade along this bear flag. So I'm hoping that we get a bit of a break to the upside heading into 439 to 440 area, and that would be pretty interesting. But for now, things look very bullish, but the dollar is also bullish, so that is something that we have to keep in mind. Those are the levels. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I go live every morning, and I hope to see you guys there. And with that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Take care. Have a good one.